Good afternoon. It is Sunday, January 21st in Wisconsin, and you're at Crocheter's Journal podcast where I talk about my stitching. So I have not done this for a couple weeks and maybe 3 weeks now. Life gets busy. So my name is Roxanne and I'm really glad you're here. Hopefully the things that I'm making inspire you to make things of your own and give you some ideas of different projects you can work on. But mostly I do this channel because I don't have a whole lot of people to talk to about my stitching, so I do it this way. So I'm not for everybody, that's okay. I do this for me, but it would be nice if other people got something from it. So what we're gonna do is talk about what I've been working on, what I've purchased, and what I've finished. I did not finish a lot of stuff, but I worked on a lot of stuff. So I'm just gonna dive right in. What I've finished. Okay, so for the last few weeks, I've been working a lot. It's been kind of crazy. Got my notes, which I love my job. I'm a long arm machine quilter, so I get to do quilting for a living. Pretty awesome. And then I stitch in the evenings, and then on the weekends, I do my chores, you know, the laundry and the catch up and all that good stuff. But so I've been working on hats. I wanted to get 3 hats done to send to the high school for the high school kids before the winter was over. So I had one more to do. So I did this one. I finished this. It's called, hang on. It is called the Gaugeless Hat, number 106 by Cabin Fever. It is a very old pattern. I've had it for like almost 25 years. So I used, I had a friend give me jelly beans yarn. It's 25% acrylic, no, 75% acrylic, 25% wool. So it's got a little bit of wool, but not a lot. But she doesn't like to work with anything wool. She doesn't like the touch, which, you know, I think sometimes people even have an allergy. So this is what it looks like. It's super cute. It's just, it fits comfortably. I was kind of using my head because they're adults. So, I mean, they're teenagers, so their heads are full size. And it fits pretty good. And I will add this to my collection of 3. If you watch the other podcasts, you've seen the other hats. I'm pretty sure I brought all those down. You know, I put them in the bin so they before I give them, so that I remember to show them to you. So they go in a little bin. So this one's done. It's super easy. You start from here and go down. You can do them shorter, or you can just do longer where you tie a knot. This yarn is really pretty. It's just pretty. It's just pretty yarn. It's kind of tweedish. It just has, it's usually a set color with speckles in it, and it just always goes all together well. I've used it before, and my friend got a giant bag of yarn on, like, I don't know, Craigslist or something like that, or Facebook Marketplace, like tons and tons of yarn. Maybe it was 6 bags. It was a lot. And this was in there, and she sent me pictures, and I'm like, if you don't want that, I want that, because that's yummy yarn, by Plymouth Yarn Company. And then you work for an inch, and then you do an increase, you work for an inch, and you do an increase, and you keep doing that till it's about as many stitches as you need to have. She tells you how to calculate that, and then you just do another like 6 inches for the rolled brim. It's super easy. It looks ginormous, but it's not. If it's just fine. I have a tendency to be fairly loose most of the time, especially on hats. Every time I make a hat, it's always too big. So this one wasn't too loose. I think it'll fit somebody comfortably. I'm not a very good hat maker. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very good at it. But it serves the purpose, and I think it's cheerful. I think it'll fit for any gender, and so that makes 3, and I'll take my 3 hats to the high school or send them with a friend that works there. The other thing, so you guys know, my mom was making these granny squares, and then I was putting them together, and that we were doing it together because she likes to make hats for the hospital, and they're full. I mean, even around here, they have plenty of stuff. So I started, I told her, make granny squares. I'll put them together for lap gowns for the nursing home. So we'll switch to a different care facility. So we did that. So I had the one done, and again, I'm waiting to get 3 put together. I have another one ready to go. I'm still working on making, I have a ton of progress bags. I should move this from the plastic bag, but I have a bunch more, and I have this skein. of black, and I really want to use it up because I can't see black very good anymore. Those of you who are older, you get me. It's hard to see it, and my eyes just hate it. So I'm just gonna use this up by connecting these. It's this variegated, and then she had some purple, and then she had a little bit of this color. And so basically she just makes what she has out of her scrap yarn, brings them to me, and then I start grouping them together. So that'll be number 2 for that set. So I have to do that one. And then I finished a quilt. It's just a hodgepodge, and then it's just mindless sewing. You sit down, sew straight line, flip it, iron it, cut off the extras, and then when you get it big enough to cut a square, you cut a square. And it's mostly teals. It's got some dark navy blue in there. But yeah, and so I've got this one, and that'll make 3. So I got that done. I had the top done a while, but I hadn't had it quilted. I quilted it at my job, brought it home, and finally put the binding on it. So that felt good to get. But that is all I got done. That's it. That's all I have done for my finished objects. Yeah, and that's fine. I have been really busy though, working on a lot of projects that are bigger. So I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. I am still working on this spring shawl that I started last spring, that I will have it done this spring. It wasn't quite big enough. I had talked about it in one of my first episodes. And it's just a simple, increase on one size till till it makes a triangle. Just makes it. And I was using the Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop Sock. I like that stuff, but not really for, I wouldn't use it for sock yarn. I don't know why. It's just, I've had yarn similar like this for socks, and it's not my favorite. But like a cotton, I prefer, honestly, I just like the superwash merino. That's just my favorite, or a blend of some kind like that. I finished it to wear to an event in October, and I decided it was not big enough. So I got more, and I started adding on this stripe, because basically you do this section of one color, and then you do this section of another color, and then go back to the first, and you alternate them. Let me see if I can hold this up. I'll come back a little bit. So it was like this, and it just wasn't big enough. And so I decided on the widest part of the triangle to get more of this color and then go across, and it's striping up really interesting. I'm really liking it. It feels so drapey. Look at that. Look at that. It's just so drapey. So I am going to continue on until it's big enough, or until this ball's used up. I thought I would use all of this, but it's getting really big, and so I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to use all this. I might not, which is fine. I love scrap, but I want it. It's not for wearing out or fancy dress. It's really for when I go sit on the deck with my husband. Is this the back or this front? It's for when I sit on the deck with my husband in the spring, and it's a little chilly, just so I can wrap this around me. It's just for me, it feels so good. I'm not gonna lie, it just feels so good. I'm having hair issues. I have hair issues all the time. I have naturally curly hair, and there's never a day where there's not a hair issue. So this is why I don't do makeup. This is why I don't do, I don't have time to do all that stuff and still do this. So you get me as I am, you get the room the way it is, keeping it real. This is life, right? So I worked on that, if I don't know if anybody watches Elise Rose Crochet, she's lovely. She's so charming. And she was talking about how she does better when she has a deadline. And I'm the same. I mean, I usually get things done, but I do better if I have a deadline. My only problem is that I have ADHD, and I can hyper focus. And sometimes I go farther than my body can handle, and then I have an injury. I'm still working on the shoulder injury from the fall when I made that giant pumpkin. It still aggravates. So, things just don't heal the way they used to. So I'm working on that, but I do want that done by spring. So I just don't make a real tight deadline. So the other things I was working on, okay, oh, this was exciting. There we go. I finally got back to my contrast glass socks from Steve & West. Okay, so I have this one done. and it's so cool. But then it was time to do the MCal shawl. So I switched over to that, which I talked about in a previous episode. I frogged that out. I did not like the colors of the yarn that I was using it. Once I saw using for it, and once I saw other people's, I realized that there was so many better choices out there. I was using yarn that I had, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think when I force it, I regret it. So I'm trying to teach myself, just stop, start again, or do something else, because you're gonna spend a lot of time. And those Stephen West stuff takes a little more time and more focus and concentration. So you need to make sure you're loving it, or at least loving the process. So, but I did have these socks. So I went back to the socks, and I've gotten this far, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. But I have to pay attention, and sometimes I'm tired at the end of the day. And so I don't always want to pay attention to a pattern. But they're coming along. I am doing the right side, left side, so they will go different. They'll lean to the different direction. I have not blocked this at all. I don't have a sock blocker. I'm just going to block it myself with towel and pins, because I'm going to wear them. I'm just going to shove them on my feet. So I did work on that. That, for some reason, that made me feel really good. I have been working on the socks that I got the yarn from Temu that I thought I would try and see how I liked it. So I was working on this sock. I did finish the one. The patterning is really cool. It's supposed to be cotton. It's not cotton. It's a cotton blend, or it's a polyester of some kind, or some kind of synthetic. Definitely not a cotton. But it's soft and it's nice. I finished this one, and I am almost finished with this one because I want to be done with this yarn. There's nothing wrong with this yarn. If you need a budget-friendly yarn, it works. It does. It's soft and it's decent. But there's so many other yarns out there to play with. So, and that's usually what happens with any yarn I'm working with. I start getting antsy to get it done so I can move on to the next thing. And when I show you what I've acquired, you'll understand why I'm just like, I have so much yarn now to work with, and I can't finish projects fast enough for it. So I had to make an adjustment to my purchasing. So I did figure that out. But anyway, this is almost done, has maybe half an inch, and then I can do the toe. I will probably have these done today or tomorrow, but they will be done because I want to start a new pair. The next pair, I'm going to start 2 new pair at the same time. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to, because my husband wants a pair, but I always have to be working on a pair for me, and I need the mindless ones, not just the contrast blast. I like having a lot of projects going at one time. That's just me. So, but because I made these shorty with the cuffs a little longer, I'm probably going to get all of the whole pair done with one skein. And so I have a whole extra skein. Now I got 2 other colors, and it comes in a package of 2. I decided I'm either not going to make socks with those. I'll make something else with fingering yarn. I don't know what yet, or I'm just going to put that yarn on the back burner, so I can play with some of the nicer yarns, the more expensive, the merinos and some of the yarns that I've recently acquired. But it'll be there, and it was worth the experiment. So I have these almost done, and the pattern I use is a basic pattern. I know there's vanilla sock patterns everywhere. I've had this for like 20 years, and I really, really, really like it. It has like 4 different gauges. It's just, I mean, you know how you get used to a pattern that's really, really smooth for you, and you just stick with it. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to experiment with different stitches, but how this is written is now, it's just so normal for me. So, and I'm really trying to stitch enough socks for myself. I'm hoping by the time I get to 5, 6, 7 pair, I can almost do it by memory, and know the formula, because there is a formula to socks. So, because I am just enjoying socks so much. So the next project that I was working on, I am almost done. This is a couple years old. I'm really excited. It's really pretty. Everybody loves it. I don't care for the yarn a lot. It's a lot of variegated red heart. When it comes to red heart, I am kind of a yarn snob, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people really like it, and I know once it's washed, it's really, really soft, but it's just not my favorite to work with. but they do have some really great variegated, and it's a very budget-friendly yarn in a variegated. And I live in a very small town. We are very limited on what, we don't have a Joann's, we don't have a Michael's. That's all an hour drive, or it's an order. So I just have a Walmart, and I am making this for my husband. It is the moss stitch variegated blanket, but look how pretty it is. Like, it is really, really pretty. My husband loves it. He's so excited. We put it on him so we could see. So I was making it this way, and of course went too big, and like, that's way too big for him. So we turned it, and it's perfect length. And so so we tested it to see how much more to go, and he's like, maybe 12 inches. So we're going to do 12 inches. So I put a progress marker in, a new one of my acquisitions. There's a new, I'll show you this little set, but that's one of them. And then I'm going to go for 12 inches, and then we're going to try it again. This one as well, I would like to have done within by the end of the month. This is an end of the month to be done with. But oh my gosh, it's just so fun. Like the colors. And so then I'm going to have all this extra. So I think I'm going to do a variegated corner to corner for the nursing home. I'm just going to do different sections. I'm not going to do the moss stitch corner to corner. I don't want to relearn corner to corner. I have enough. This is learning. I want more of them just easy peasy, to use up that yarn, and that'll be done. So anyway, that's this one. It's pretty. It really is pretty. He picked the colors. I picked the skeins. He picked which skeins he wanted, and then I took the other ones out that he did it and gave those to a friend. So that is getting close to done. The other thing I worked on, let's see, the shawl, moss stitch. Okay, and the last thing I've been working on is my Battenburg. So Battenburg is usually done, most people have been doing it with fingering weight. I don't have a lot of fingering weight yarn. This is something I'm getting into right now, so I'm acquiring it, but I'd rather use scrap for the Battenburg, and I haven't used enough up to have scrap. So I got the pattern anyway, and look at it because it's a free download. I got it on Ravelry, and I think it's free. Pretty sure it's free. And it said in there, you don't have to use fingering weight. You can use any weight. And I was like, oh, okay. But I like the small squares, so I did, and I talked about this before. So I started just doing 2 rounds in the worsted weight. So real simple. I made the dockside throw. I love that blanket. I don't use it. It'll probably be a gift for a special someone. It's in a cupboard, or it'll be on display. It turned out so pretty, and I bought all this yarn. I had a bunch of yarn, and I bought a bunch to go with it, which I don't normally do for something that big. I usually just do scrappy things. It turned out so pretty, and I have quite a bit of scrap left, and it's all really soft, really nice yarn. So I am making the Battenburg with that. Then I looked at how they put it together, and I didn't like it. So you know how you put them together and they have that little ridge? I hate that ridge. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot. I mean, and I know there's ways you can do it so it's not so much of a ridge. I do get it on the ones that I make, the granny squares with my mom, but it's not too bad. But this one, because there's so many stitches across, I just didn't want to do it. So I decided, so what we did, first of all, we decided, I had this great big skein. This is just mainstays. I don't mind mainstays. I like it a little bit better than Red Heart. It's budget friendly. I had it for some other project, and I thought, why not use this up in between? And once I wash it, I wash the blanket, it'll soften up. If you use fabric softener sheets, it's amazing how much softer it gets, and acrylic washes up quite well. And it needs to be, because it's a donation, so they need to be able to wash this regularly and have it hold up. So I decided to use this instead of cream or white, because I've done cream and white and tan and black, and I'm like, let's do red. And I asked my husband, I don't know why I ask him, but I do, because he's always so supportive, and he's like, that would be really cool. So I started, and I'm doing it with a whip stitch. I have not done a whip stitch join before, and I don't mind it. but it doesn't have a ridge. It doesn't have a ridge. So this is what it's looking like right now. I kind of like it. I mean, I do. I don't know why. Maybe because it's fresh and different for me. There's no ridge. Now you do get the whip stitch look, but it's kind of primitive. It has this primitive feel to it. So I put a stitch marker in the corner so I know where I'm going. So I'm just going to work the corner out. And I'm going to do, I decided I prefer regular granny squares, but I'm trying to go outside the box with granny squares and try different kinds. There's so many different kinds. And so I thought I'm going to do another one. This will be for the, either a baby or wheelchair lap coverlet. That's about the size that I'm going for. When I get done, I'll see if I want to go farther, but probably not. But I'm liking it. I am. It's charming. It's very different for me. And I think that's why I'm enjoying it. So not for everybody, I'm sure, but yeah, I watched TL Yarn Crafts, Tony, the wonderful Tony, where she was showing all these different ways to connect your granny squares. And she had shown this, and I thought, you know, that's one thing I've never really done, and I decided to do it. So that is how I'm doing that one. So, so yeah, working on that. And I think that's all the things I have been working on. There were a couple things that I wanted to tell you about. One, if you don't watch Elise Rose Crochet, you should. She's awesome, but I bet most of you do. She did a podcast about for 2024 Maker's Journal. So if you're looking to get organized, she's got a really good video for that. And then one thing, some things that I learned in 2023. One, socks are faster than I thought, and I really, really love them. I discovered the knitting along and make along, how much fun they are, even if you're not doing anything or progressing very far. It's just fun to watch other people's projects. It was just so fun. I enjoyed it so much. I did 2 of them. I learned from Kay from Crazy Sock Lady, as well as Amber from, I think, A Lovely Yarn. Those are podcasts I really enjoy. And process versus progress versus product making, and what I prefer. And I'm definitely have changed from a season of product, you know, what can I get done and how fast can I get it done, to just the process, enjoying the process, and not even progress, just process. Like, I didn't get as much done as I thought I did. I don't care. I'm just enjoying what I'm enjoying. And if I'm not enjoying it, I have another project I've been thinking about frogging. I'm frogging it. It is the mama turtle with the baby turtles with the different colored tummies for a memory game. I started making it for my grandson so that we could play together. He's way too young to play it yet anyway. And I realized that I'm not enjoying it. I don't like the yarn. I've now discovered he's very much into texture. It really matters to him. There's certain textures he just does not like. And I thought, I don't think he's going to enjoy this, and I'll put a lot of work into it. So I'm going to frog it, because I can buy a memory game. You know, I can do a different kind of memory game with him. I can figure something else. I can just do a stuffed granny square with one color on the bottom and whatever, you know. So yeah, it's very freeing to let things go. And if I'm not going to finish something and I'm dreading doing it, and I used to make myself finish, and now I'm like, you know what? I don't like you enough to finish you. It's okay to let it go. And I learned that I am meant to be a maker. I went back to work as a long arm machine quilter. I'm being creative and in my job, and that fits me better. And I've never been as happy as I am now doing the things that I'm doing and making a living at it. So I was just meant to be creative professionally. And so that was very freeing. So it was a really good year. I hope you all had a really, really good year. I would love to show you some of the things that I've acquired. I have on here that I did not show it to you, so I'm going to show it to you, but if I already showed you, sorry. That's what this pile is of fabric. This is the only, everything else is yarn, but here is The Wanderer's Wife. I think it's probably backwards for you, sorry about that, but I have always wanted to do this quilt. I think it's so scrappy. It's right up my alley. And I had a client come into the shop who wanted this quilted. And then I was like, oh, I remember I wanted to do that. I'm going to get that booklet. I have the fabrics for the next block ready to go. I've done 2 blocks. I had posted about it on Facebook on my personal page, and I had a couple friends say, oh, I want to do that too. And I'm like, that's fine. You want to make an event page? You want to do make a little Facebook page? Go for it, but I'm not running it. I got enough to do, but I'll participate. So they did that, and away we go. So I am allowing myself, again, it's a process, enjoying the process. So mistakes will be made, and I do not care. Here is my first block. I did it like this. I did turn my ruler. It's gonna go in the quilt like this. So my little kitty is gonna be, look at the kitty. Little kitty's gonna be chasing her ball of yarn down the hill. That's okay. And then on this piece of fabric, I got the selvage in there. But it's light, and this is a quilt for me. You can't see it. Yeah, there's a quilt behind here. There's a quilt here. This is my studio and my office, and I put quilts up in here for me that are colorful and that I love, and this will probably be displayed in here. And then I did this. Oh, that was the second block. This was the first block because this is the colors I'm pulling from. Pink, green, teal, and orange. And then secondary color will be yellow and blue. So that is my Wanderer's Wife quilt. So I will show you blocks as I go, for those of you who also quilt. End of the year sales killed me. Well, when I did get some more needles. I got the 7-inch, and I prefer the 5-inch. I'm a DPN person. I know a lot of people like the 9-inch, and other people like Magic Loop. I don't care for Magic Loop. I have never done 9-inch circulars yet. I really just haven't found a pair or purchased a pair because I'm happy with DPNs. And so I'm sticking with what I'm doing, but I'm sure down the road I'll try them. But I got 7-inch. I wish I would have got 5-inch because I'm finding I like the 5-inch better. That's why I keep wondering if I would like this 9-inch circular, but I don't know. So I did order some progress markers because I had stitch markers, and I can use stitch markers just fine, but they're not pretty. So I got these just off Amazon. They're like a little bee and a flower and honeycomb, and I just thought they're just really cute. So I've got some progress markers. I am enjoying them a lot. I can see why people have little collections of those. These are my first ones. They come in a little case. Perfect. I did sew this little pouch that with yarn on it with little kitty paw prints on there. Well, kitty or puppy. And it just has some knitting needles and crochet hooks, some oddball stuff that I tend to do a lot, little clippers. I keep a ruler in there. So I made the little pouch. And then I got the sales. I got this for a couple bucks. I wanted to try this. This is an Arnie and Carlos yarn. It is, it's on sale for like $6, and I had like a $5 credit or something. So I'm like, I'm gonna get it. But it has wool. Where is it? There's nothing wrong with wool, but it doesn't have the softer wool, and I can't find it. Why can I not find it? Because the camera's running. That's why I can't find it. Oh, 75% virgin wool, 25% polyamide. So I know that when I don't mind working with it, but I know that when I make, I won't be able to wear the socks for it. So I asked my husband what he thought. He thought he would be able to have no problem with it. They'd be for socks around the house anyway. But the colors are gorgeous, and I really can't wait to make them up. I think that'll be fun. So I got that. Sometimes you just got to take a chance. I got some heritage prints. So from Cascade Yarns, basically, Oh Happy Day Yarn Company, they did an end of the year sale. And so I went shopping. And I got this one, Heritage. This is super fine. Okay, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. That's my favorite combo. 75-25 or an 80-20. That's my very, very favorite. I like the feel of it. I also got this one. I thought that was pretty as well. They had a lot of these greens for sale. I also got this guy, Heritage Wave, same superwash merino nylon. This colorway. Well, these, I don't even, yeah, these don't have a color name on them. I'm sure, I know they have a color name when I bought them, but they don't have it on here. Color number 62. Not very interesting, but that's fine. This is Cascade Yarns, and I got this. I think it's really, really lovely. I will probably, this one was for my husband. I believe this is the yarns we're doing for him. I have to confirm that with him. I better set that aside. For him next. That's one of the socks I'm making next. I got this gorgeous purple. I kind of had this in mind for him because he loves purple. I'll ask him which one he wants. And I got this one for me. Oh, this one was, I can't pronounce it. There you go. Huasco sock kettle dyed yarns, Araucania yarns. Oh, I am butchering that. That's terrible. I apologize. Again, it's a 75-25 merino nylon blend. Again, it's my go-to. I just love it. Because I always know when I buy it, when I feel it, I'm not gonna do like this and go, oh, I won't be able to wear these, because I'm really into making socks for myself right now. Being a little selfish and loving it. This is 90% merino, 8% acrylic, 2% stellina. I don't know what stellina is. However, it's a Madeline Tosh, and it is so pretty. It has sparkles in it. I don't know if you can see it, but it is, I think it was called patina. It's R-E-D is what it was called, actually. R-E-D. I don't know what that means, but it's a TML and copper. So it's like copper patina. It has this baby blue, robin's egg blue, and then it has copper, and then it has sparkles. Oh yeah, that one's mine. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I love it so much. I wish the camera could do it justice. It is gorgeous. So I got those on sale. And then I realized I was having problems with spending. I guess we give ourselves a certain amount of yarn every month to spend and enjoy on ourselves. We budget it out, and it was all going to yarn, and I'm like, okay, I can't make all this stuff yet. I need to slow it down a little bit. I mean, I'm having fun, but so I decided I would give myself a subscription box, and that way every month I'm getting yarn, and I know it's coming, and it's a surprise. It's like a little present to myself. And that way, and I just kind of see, can I use up more than one skein a month to use up some of what I have? So I went with a company called Yarn of My Dreams, because she's right over next door in Minnesota. I'm in Wisconsin, right on the border. So for, in America, that's kind of considered local. If they're in Europe, it would be like another country way over, but here, it's local. And for me, it's local. And plus all my family is in Minnesota, so it just feels like local. It came in this cute bag, little llamas. I mean, I was so excited when I got it. It has this little handwritten note with a thank you sticker. In the note, in the thank you note, there is coupon codes, Yarn Club for 20% off, Yarn Ship for free shipping, a Be Mine progress marker. I've never had a progress marker given to me as a gift. I was so excited. And it's so cute. And I'm kind of into Valentine's right now. And I'm normally not a Valentine's person at all. But anything pink. I did a Valentine's sample at work for quilting, and I was just so excited. And it says, Roxanne, thank you so much for the order. I hope you like the yarn. Have a great day. Happy making, and God bless, Vicky. And when I had messaged her saying, okay, I just put in an order, am I going to get this month, or do I have to wait till the next month? And she responded herself. And there's just something very, nice about that. It's obviously an indie yarn dyer. So what I signed up for is the mystery the monthly mystery subscription box, as well as the quarterly mini mystery subscription box. So I got this quarter, I got these. Aren't these beautiful? Look at those. They all go together well. They're just beautiful. I love them. It's 2024 winter mini sampler. And again, it's the 75-25 merino nylon, 20 grams each of 4-ply. Then I got, it's called Conversation Hearts is the name of the yarn. And there was a note. Now, where did I lose the note? Did I lose the note? Wouldn't that be, there's the order. There was a little note inside of it. Hang on, guys. There it is. I found it in my bin. She was making a change because of her supplier. Because her supplier discontinued the wool tencel blend of fingering weight yarn. That is this one, okay? So Conversation Hearts, it's got a little bit of pink in it. Otherwise it's purples and yellows and green and a mint, little teal. This is the discontinued base. It's a 4-ply fingering sock weight. It feels really nice. There's nothing, but her supplier ran out. So she says, I did have enough to dye up the February orders. Okay, starting with the March orders, I will be transitioning to the 80-20 wool nylon 2-ply fingering weight. I was in the process of switching over all my customers. When you subscribe to the monthly mystery yarn club, and any new orders will be getting the 80-20 wool nylon blend. Since you ordered in the middle of the transition, I am sending you both, but just letting you know that going forward, you will be receiving the wool nylon blend. Thank you so much for the order, and hope the free skein of yarn makes up for any issues this has caused. I wouldn't have had an issue anyway, because I don't know, I guess I'm just pretty laid back about that, but have a wonderful day, Vicky. But she didn't even wait to find out if there was an issue. She just preempted it and sent me the new yarn in the same colorway, Conversation Hearts. 80% superwash wool and 20% nylon. Now, normally I was like, superwash wool, am I gonna be able to handle this? Because this is recycled wool, this is superwash wool. It's a 2-ply, so it is different, but it's wonderful. It's beautiful. The colors are gorgeous. I mean, it dyes up a little differently, obviously, but it's gorgeous. But I mean, this is probably a $25-$30 skein. She sent it, just sent it. I'm a huge fan of her. I am a huge fan. Even if I didn't like the yarn, I'd be like, you're wonderful. What a wonderful customer service thing. And I'm sure she's happy to use up the yarn, but she could have done all sorts of stuff, you know, and just, you know, sold, you know, available till it's gone or whatever. But instead she's gifting it to people who had ordered, not realizing that it was going to be switched over. So I think that's just high level customer service and really thankful. So I think I picked the right company. Again, that's Vicky from Yarn of My Dreams. If you'd like to look her up, I'll probably put the link in the description box. So anyway, that's everything. Like I said, I didn't get a whole lot done. I got almost as much yarn as I got things accomplished, but a lot of progress on a lot of stuff. But I'm still just obsessed with socks. So trying to finish some other projects up. We had our water heater cause us issues this week, so we didn't have hot water for 2 days. And honestly, it didn't even bother me because this yarn came and I was so busy looking at this. And no hot water versus no water. I mean, it's not the end of the world. No water is horrible. I'm very spoiled. I love my water. I like running water, but no hot water it was fine. But visiting my grandson every Sunday. It's been very, very cold here, about 0 most of the time, and we're ready for it to be 30 this week. Not a lot of snow, so very, very different winter for us here in Wisconsin. But anyway, I hope this inspires you to either get some new yarn that you're happy with, start a new project, try out these projects you maybe have heard of but haven't tried before, like the Battenburg, the variegated moss stitch. But they're all wonderful projects. I'm having a great time using up my stash and replacing it with new fun things. So I hope you have a great day, a great week, and hopefully I won't take so long to get back to you, but I will talk to you soon. Oh, and if you wouldn't mind, subscribe or leave a comment. I probably should say that at the beginning, because it's fun. It's fun for me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and have a great day.